Howdy and welcome to the Junction cast. We are glad you're back. Today we're going to talk some baseball, some basketball. Of course, we'll talk some college football. I'm David Francis. As always, with me is Rob White.
Hi, guys.
Rob's feeling a little under the weather today.
That's a bit of an understatement. I've been fighting sinus infections, a bunch of other crap, so don't mind me.
But we're going to fight through it and get you the best Junction cast episode yet. To start off, the Astros played an absolutely incredible game last night, getting the first World Series win in franchise history. It only took 6 games, and little 9-year-old me was just going ballistic last night.
I got to tell you, I mean, you want to talk about earning your win. This team came out and absolutely fought for it. And, I mean, adversity, everything that you could possibly ask for in this game. I mean, tough road environment. Dodgers were absolutely in control of this game. I mean, and despite the fact that Verlander only gave up 2 hits, unfortunately those 2 hits led to less than ideal situations for the Astros. I got to say, I'm very impressed with the way the team fought back, and even when they allowed themselves to get back in poor situations.
I was impressed because there were multiple times in the game where I was like, okay, we got this, and then we didn't have it. Yeah. You know, when Marwin hit the home run to tie it, I was like, okay, well, here we go. Yeah. And I was like, we're going to score a couple runs here, shut them down in the 9th, it'll be game over. That didn't happen. Went to the 10th. And Altuve hits a shot. Correa comes up and hits a shot. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, that's it. Obviously, because we're going to get even more runs. That did not happen. We give up a home run to Puig, and then the double scores, whoever that was. And then, you know, talk about we got lucky. Throw the ball,
no kidding.
Throw the ball down to second, and it bounces off the umpire. If it doesn't do that, the game's over.
Like I said, you know, the Dodgers have oftentimes this year been that team that has just been benefited from the lucky bounce, the lucky call. The Astros absolutely lucked out there, no doubt.
Did not luck out anymore. Got a man on, and then George Springer finally came through big. 2-run shot that was the eventual game winner. Dodgers came back in the bottom half and tacked on 1, but couldn't get enough. So the Astros won a crazy game in Los Angeles. The teams combined for the most home runs ever in a postseason game, which is ridiculous, seeing as almost all of them were in the 9th or later innings.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're talking about a Dodgers bullpen that has been so absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at like the statistics from this season, I mean, the Dodgers were coming into this game 98-0 when leading after 8 innings.
Right.
That's nuts. I mean, think about that. 98 games.
Especially because not all of those games is like, oh, I'm leading by 4 runs into the 8th. No, a lot of those games we're leading by 1 into the 8th. And it's not even like, oh, it's 1-0, it's been super defensive pitching. Like, I'm sure they won games 6-5 or 7-6 or, 1 or 2 run decisions that were late into the game where it could have gone either way, and they were able to pull them out.
Well, see, that just speaks to the strength of the bullpen that the Dodgers have.
Yeah.
And, I mean, really to the resiliency of the Astros batters. I don't know who decided to give Jobu his run, but he was happy.
I was very impressed. When it was coming closer to the end of the game, and the Astros were still down runs. It didn't look good, and I had almost no hope because we had something like 12 hits or something, and like 9 men stranded. I was like, that is not the recipe to win baseball games.
Not at all.
That is the recipe to lose baseball games. And you can be, which I mean, just shows you can be the best hitting team in baseball and still lose baseball games. Because the fact of the matter is there's 3 outs in an inning, right? Yep. So the first guy, gets a hit, or the first guy gets on, right? Yep. And then the second guy grounds out into a double play, and then the third guy gets a hit, and then the fourth guy gets on or whatever. Like, you're hitting at a high rate, but you're not scoring runs. So, the Astros over this season have scored a lot of runs, and they've hit very well. The hitting for a lot of guys has dried up immensely over the postseason, and they've not looked nearly as good as they were against almost everybody in the regular season. But possibly this is confidence, especially coming back home, to say, like, hey, we can hit we can play. Like, all we got to do is just play our game.
Yeah.
I am interested to see what McCullers is going to do in Game 3, and then what's his name for Game 4?
I don't even know.
He pitched Charlie something. He pitched Game 7.
Okay.
Charlie Morton.
Was it Morton?
Morton,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, Morton.
He's starting Game 4 is what they released like a day ago, I guess.
Okay. Well,
So interested to see what those two guys do, because Keuchel did. I mean, I'm not going to put it on Keuchel and Verlander and say they didn't do their jobs.
No.
I think they did their jobs. I think the hitting just hasn't been there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, you can still do well. I mean, I'm thinking if you're a major league pitcher and you can keep the visiting team within, or the other team within 3 or 4 runs,
Right,
I mean,
especially
that's
with
that's on your offense.
Especially with the lineup that we've seen, you know, their leadoff guy can hit the ball. Justin Turner can hit the ball. Bellinger can hit the ball. Like, Puig can hit the ball. They have guys on the roster that can hit the ball well. They can hit it situationally. They can do the long ball. I mean, it's like they have all of these guys that can hit very well, and we've held them to less hits than us, which is concerning to me, because if you have less hits and you're down runs, that should be a problem. But the pitchers, I think, have done their job and kept us in the game. And in Game 1, it was our hitters couldn't do enough. Whereas here in Game 2, the hitters did their best and ended up getting a win.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes you just get the lucky bounce. I mean, you look at, Puig was coming in to get that Bregman catch and ends up bouncing. And rolls in for, ends up getting a ground rule double. It's a game of inches. It's a game of just absolute, inch by inch, changes. I mean, it's little things, absolutely little things make all the difference in this baseball game. So
exactly,
I'm very excited, especially with the series coming back to Houston. I think that the juice box is going to be rocking and rolling all 3 days. And here's hoping the Astros can pull out 3 straight games.
That would be incredible. I mean, to win this thing at home would be incredible. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think if they have any hope of winning, they have to win 2.
Yeah.
You can't lose 2 at home.
No.
You can't, I don't think. Because I do not see them, losing 2 and going back, down 3-2 and winning 2 games in LA.
No.
I don't see that happening. So I think you got to win 2. If they shut this thing out at home, Houston might burn to the ground.
Oh, man. I mean, downtown's going to be completely impassable for like a week.
Especially if we win Game 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Game 5 becomes probably the biggest sporting event in Houston history.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you're talking about a franchise. I mean, in a city in reality. Yes, we have a couple of NBA titles back in the 90s, but just in reality, you look at the city of Houston, and it has just been an absolute sad story.
Right, because you talk about I mean, you could say Major 4, you could say Major 5, but I would say that the MLS is just so far removed from even including the NHL with the other 3. The MLS is so far removed from that we have titles in that, but very few people in Houston know or even care about that.
Yeah.
The Houston does not have an NHL team. So you're stuck with NBA, NFL, MLB, and the Rockets won 2 championships back in the 90s when they were very, very good.
Yeah.
The Texans and even the Oilers prior had very bad luck in the playoffs. The Astros, as we just mentioned, their first World Series win in franchise history, only the second World Series in franchise history. So a big, big opportunity for Houston sports.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a program that has been built, and everybody was saying for years and years and years that this is a program that was on the rise, and we thought they were going to show up a little bit earlier, back in 15, but we'll definitely take what they're doing here in 17.
Absolutely. Also, last night we had the Aggie basketball game.
Yeah, so
the first exhibition game against Texas. For those of you that aren't aware.
So I wasn't there. So feel free to just kind of give me some pointers. So I'm going to ask. First off, how was the atmosphere?
The atmosphere was very confusing.
Yeah.
One, it was sad. It was absolutely sad. It was maybe half full, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, the sides were kind of densely-ish packed in the middle. Near the top, there was almost nobody. the two A&M student sections were, I would say one of them was probably 80-90% full. The other one 60-70.
Yeah.
The Texas student section was 30% full, if that. The far side of the arena was almost completely empty. So on that aspect, it was very sad. I mean, like, just seeing that, I realized it was a week notice on a Wednesday. The Astros are in the World Series.
Exactly.
People have bigger things to do, and the ticket fiasco in the beginning was not good either.
I'm sorry. When your cheapest ticket was going to be almost $50,
I understand what they're trying to do with, hey, let's raise money for the hurricane, but this is hey, let's raise money for the hurricane. Like, let's play this game in, like, either a little ways down the road or like way sooner.
Well, see, it's like, I think,
and I know logistically that can't happen, but it's just, it wasn't, I don't think it was thought out amazingly well.
I said this was a very hasty event, and I mean, I understand what they're trying to go for, but at the same time, you're talking about, two programs which, they're both good, they're both decent basketball programs.
Fairly, I mean, don't get me wrong, they have a good, their basketball team's not bad.
I would say both teams are obviously pretty good basketball teams, but the problem is, you're talking about a market which in the state of Texas, just basketball's not that big of a deal.
Right.
And unfortunately, even though you have this great little event, I mean, hell, A&M baseball and Texas baseball last 2 years have drawn bigger crowds than that. Granted, yes, you've had a long, much more time to deal with it. But unfortunately, just when you have such a quick turnaround on something like this,
and the fact
tough.
that it's an exhibition game, and I mean, I wasn't even expecting to see starters play, and they did. I think that a lot of people just weren't super interested in the game. It wasn't at the top of their list, so it was kind of sad. That being said, though, those of us that showed up were freaking loud. There were times in that game where we were yelling. Because during the second half, they were scoring on our end.
Yeah.
So we were yelling at them the whole time. And it was loud. It was loud. Like crazy loud for that amount of people. And I was really impressed by that. Just, kind of the amount of people that got out, especially students on a weekday. And yeah, they gave us free tickets, but even that was kind of a fiasco. And it just... Again, the planning aside, the people that did show up were loud. All the Texas fans that showed up were loud.
That's good.
All the A&M fans showed up were loud. I mean, and it was that kind of thing that was like at the end, like, yeah, I wanted to punch everybody in the face. Like, I did not like them. I absolutely despised them. But it's like I turned to my friend who I was sitting with multiple times. I was like, why don't we do this every year in every sport? Because there was so much energy and so much... I mean, yeah, it's hatred. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we don't like each other at all. I did not want to be in the same room with those people because I don't like them. But, like, having those two, groups of people that really don't want anything to do with each other was awesome. It was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And it just... Again, everything that I saw, it's just a reminder, like, why don't we do this all the time? Because it's a level of competition that regardless of how good our teams are, the level of competition is higher.
Yeah,
I think, and the I guess I would say care to win is a lot higher. Talking about, I guess, just the game itself, this team did not fall away. They got down quite a few times and would get close and then would get beaten back down to like a 10-point deficit. The team came back, stayed with it, with a little bit of work. Well, a lot of work. This team's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
The 3-point shooting was atrocious. It was absolutely terrible. Even shooting from the field, I mean, there was a lot of really poor decision making, like a lot of taking layups or taking weird shots that wasn't the good decision. You mentioned it, the obligatory fire Kennedy conversation. He did, I guess, the same thing. There was a moment, it was about 1:30 to play. We had the ball, and we were down 3. And I said, you don't have to shoot a 3 because we're going to get another possession. Go in, find your shot, get 2, so you pull it within 1 because you have to go play defense anyway. So if you're down 3, you shoot a 3, you tie the game. You have to go back on the other side of the court and play defense anyways because if they get a shot, they have the lead again.
You take the 2.
Yeah, you find your shot, get your high percentage shot, which is either Rob Williams, who wasn't. I don't know. He seemed kind of off last night. Everybody seemed off last night.
Yeah.
But I would say, especially last night, it was Tyler Davis. Get him down low, let him work, which is what kind of they saw at the very end of the game. But get him low, let him work, get 2. They didn't. They shot a 3 and missed it. That was kind of that. But with some work, this team can be good. And when they play at their capability, I think that they're a really good basketball team.
Do you think the players may have looked at, may have been blinded by the Texas on the jerseys on this, with this game, that they tried to push themselves a little too much?
I don't know. There was a lot of talk. There was a lot of smack going on the court, and you could see it. You could kind of tell. Trosha was not having any of it. He was very vocal, and to me, a fan, to somebody that dude's from Columbia. He doesn't, I guess, quote unquote, I wouldn't say he understands the rivalry like I do. He doesn't hate that school for his whole life. He didn't despise, them the way I did. But it's reassuring to see A, that level of competition, and B, he understands what this kind of means, I think, to the fan base and to the students and everything. And to just understand that and to just I guess fight a little harder. He made some really clutch 3s, which was awesome. But yeah, I don't think there was any sort of, shell shock or anything on the team. It was a warm-up game. It's their first quote-unquote competition they've played. They're going to have a couple more exhibition games and then have some cupcake games early in the season to get ready for a busier schedule right before conference play.
So looking at this team and assuming that they do continue to improve and they do what is going to keep Kennedy to have a job, which is make the tournament. Do you think, are you intrigued by a rematch with Texas if that game does happen in the tournament?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I am a big proponent of let's play this game whenever the heck, for whatever reason. Yeah. So if it happens, it almost happened a couple years ago and they end up getting beaten by that, crazy buzzer beater. If that happens, cool. That would be awesome. I don't know if it's going to happen. And really, the fact of the matter is I'm not really worried about it. I'm more worried about, hey, let's, get this team. We've got big games against Kentucky.
Yeah.
We've got a big game in Lawrence, Kansas. We've got some big games to play, especially even in the SEC schedule, which this year the SEC basketball's, looked at as kind of a higher league this year, some better teams, and so let's get through that, and let's get to the tournament. This team, their floor should be the tournament. If they don't make the tournament, I think we have to start talking about Billy Kennedy's job. Now that's months in advance, and I don't want to worry about it now, but this team is good enough to do very well in the tournament if they play at the level that they should play at. And I don't think there's any excuse not to.
Like I said, I'd much rather lose to Texas in an exhibition and then turn around and improve on that as we go than worry about winning that early, non-important game.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, the fans and everybody will get over it and we'll move on. But it would have been great to just talk a bunch of mess like they were.
Let's see. Basically, at the end of the day, it's kind of a flip one way or the other. It's on the one hand, you can be like, "Hey, we just beat Texas,"
right?
And then Texas fans give you crap. It's like, "Dude, it's an exhibition."
Exactly.
It's it's a win-win.
Right. Aggie baseball has been starting their kind of, I guess, momentum towards the 2018 campaign. Wow. You were at I guess, was this the first scrimmage?
Well, they've been running scrimmages all day, but for the last couple of weeks.
But this was kind of the first public one.
So what's going on with this scrimmage is they're doing the Omaha Cup. For those of you who don't know, it's basically a 5-game series that the teams will play. They split themselves into 2 teams, the Farmers and the Plowboys, and they just play in a 5-game set. Whoever wins, yada, 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 they get the cup. It's a big deal. Today, Farmers took on the Plowboys. Farmers, I think they won 13-7. It was a really, I'd say, for the most part, Farmers pretty much dominated this game, but Plowboys apparently came back late. That was after I left. But, I mean, Kaylor Chafin looked absolutely outstanding today. Braden Shoemake is still making waves, as he always does.
I would have expected nothing less.
And but a lot of freshmen are contributing very early on, and it's been good to see that development.
Do you still feel very good about the team?
Oh, absolutely. The fact of the matter is, like, as well as each of these teams played, I mean, you have a lot of freshmen on both of these teams, and the freshmen are making key contributions. That's awesome, because this is already a team that has a lot of experience on it now, at least from a sophomore, junior, senior perspective, and you're bringing in a group of extremely talented freshmen that will develop quickly. So I think preseason we were looking at chatting with our friend Kendall Rogers. He was saying that A&M's probably number 2 in the West, behind Arkansas right now, but ahead of LSU and the rest of the pack at the moment. But I think this team, the way they're developing quickly, this is a very favorable home schedule as we discussed. So
Right.
I think this team has a very good chance to do very big things as this year goes ahead.
Awesome. That's really, I guess, motivating to hear, especially, kind of this early on, 4 or 5 months before the season's going to start.
That's like, but when we get into the season, I wouldn't be shocked if we end up, first few weeks, whatever, we have some growing pains, we have some issues trying to figure out who needs to be in what position, because that's just the way it goes. And I would not be surprised if we end up dropping a game or two here or there, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, this team's supposed to be really good." And
You saw what happened last year.
Oh yeah, no, the team struggled last year. Absolutely, they struggled.
Bad a lot, especially in the beginning.
Yeah. So don't be surprised if this team drops some games, loses a series or two they're not supposed to lose. But this team's supposed to be good, and I think they will have. My floor for them is a super regional.
That's good.
Because it's I think they're one of the best 16 best teams in the country. I'll say that. So.
Well, that's at least. Well. So you think winning a super regional is the floor? Or you think going to a super regional?
I say at least making a super regional.
Okay, well, that's 32 teams, Rob. Isn't it?
No.
Oh,
No.
I thought it would.
No. So it's the 64 teams, 4 teams per regional.
Right.
And there's 16 per regional. There's 16 regionals. Those
Right.
16 regional champs go to the supers.
Gotcha.
And then the final 8 go to Omaha.
Gotcha. For whatever reason, I thought it was 16 in Omaha. I don't
Yeah.
know why I thought that.
Yeah, well, I think what helped that is because they recently announced that they actually moved the national seeds from 8 to 16.
Right.
But what that has now done is it has created the opportunity to not, schedule super regionals based on region. So you won't get like the A&M TCU or the Florida State or whatever guaranteed anymore.
Right.
It'll be number 1 against number 16, 2 against 15. You get the drill.
Right.
So the teams.
It could happen,
Yeah.
but it's more kind of
It'll be based on
worked
true
out.
seeding.
Right.
It'll be on true seeding.
Which I think is kind of more fair. It's more quote unquote fair, I guess.
I agree. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I think the way they said they're reorganizing it is if a national seed doesn't make it out, but the other national seed on the other side does, they get to host. If it's number 2 against number 2, then whoever had the higher seed from that of the regionals gets the host. It's a whole competition.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they have a whole tiebreaker thing and whatnot.
But regardless, it's promising to see. It's been fun to watch in the midst of this wonderful football season. So to kind of keep up with the baseball guys and see how they're doing.
So it was encouraging to hear. We hope that the 2018 campaign ends up going good. Week 8 of college football was a fun one.
Oh yeah, no, lots of good football.
Lots of great games. We picked 10 of them, which is not true. We only picked 9 of them. The 10th was the A&M against the bye week. We think we won. Only one person got arrested, so I think we won.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to see exactly.
We'll see the effects.
We'll see who won the bye week.
Exactly. We'll talk about that. We picked 9 games. We picked Iowa State and Texas Tech. Rob, congratulations. I do not know what I was doing on that one.
Well, like I said, I've been keeping an eye on Iowa State this year because one of my buddies is a big Iowa State guy. So, I've been really impressed with them. Their new coach, Matt.
Yeah.
He's been absolutely killing it over there. They're already talking about how somebody's going to come cherry pick them pretty quick. Which, I hope not, because I hope Iowa State has a chance to at least build a little bit in the Big 12.
Right.
But, it absolutely took care of business in Lubbock. 11 o'clock game doesn't shock me too much. So.
Yep. We'll have more to talk about Iowa State here in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Louisville traveled to Florida State in what was a fantastic game.
Oh, yeah, no, back and forth. Fun, entertaining game.
Absolutely. Florida State ended up winning that game, correct?
I
Maybe?
think Louisville won.
Did they really?
I think Louisville
I can't
won.
remember.
They
did.
yeah,
They
that's
did
right.
because
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher got yelled at.
Yep.
I had written down that Florida State had won because I'm stupid.
It was going back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Final score, 31-28 Louisville. They won it on a field goal.
Yeah. What a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Was a lot of fun. Great game. We both had Florida State in that one, so shame on us.
Oh, well.
Syracuse traveled to number 8 Miami. Actually made somewhat of a game of it.
Yeah. They got around to it.
Ended up being a close game. We both had Miami, though, and Miami ended up pulling it off.
Yep.
Number 20 UCF went to Navy. They held their undefeated streak, and you picked Navy.
I did.
Man, shame on you.
That happens, yeah.
Shame.
10-point game.
Shame on you. Number 21 Auburn went to Arkansas and did exactly what we thought they would do.
Rolled.
Absolutely murdered Arkansas. We both had Auburn. Indiana went to 18 Michigan State, made a very interesting game out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Michigan State ended up pulling out. We both had Michigan State. Tennessee went to Alabama. We both had Alabama. Rob had against the spread.
Yeah.
I said the spread was good.
Yeah.
And
it was close.
I had that one.
It was close. Tennessee tried to give it a shot, though.
The spread was close. The game
spread.
was not, even
Yeah.
kind of.
No. Absolute spread. I'm not talking about the game.
Gigantic blowout. Alabama held on to it. And then in two of what was supposed to be maybe two huge marquee matchups of the college football season ended up being two gigantic lopsided wins. Number 19 Michigan traveled to number 2 Penn State. Penn State rolled. Saquon
nuts.
Barkley looked incredible. Number 11 USC went to number 13 Notre Dame. Notre Dame rolled.
Yeah.
Big time over USC. I don't know why I picked USC. That was really stupid.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, just like I said, I think Notre Dame, like I said, we've been saying all year that USC is a little overrated.
Yeah, I mean, and
they finally got exposed. Granted, good Notre Dame team. But,
yeah.
But, I mean, USC finally gets exposed for the first time. And, that one's going to hurt for a little while.
Yeah, that was not a close game. Notre Dame really proving their ability to step up in the big time and get a big win, regardless of how you feel about USC. They were highly regarded throughout college football, though I'm sure at the end of the season, all of the people who beat USC will reevaluate those wins and say, oh, well, USC wasn't actually all that good, even though we'd been hyping them up all season.
Pretty much.
It's the way college football works. You ended up being 8 of 10 on your picks.
Yeah, I know. I was pretty
I
proud
ended
of
up being
myself.
7 of 10. Those are our two best weeks. Now, granted, we weren't actually of 10 again. A&M did not play. But we have 10 more actual football games to pick for this week.
Oh, boy.
And a lot of we got some really interesting games to pick this week.
Yeah.
So we'll start it off. Arkansas traveling to Ole Miss.
Arkansas to Ole Miss, man. You're talking about a little bit of a toilet bowl here. I honestly,
Little bit.
a little bit.
A lot of it.
A lot of it. So, Brett Bielema, I mean, the dude just has an absolutely atrocious FBS record. I mean, especially against Power 5 since he's been head coach. Outside of his first year, he has been an absolute trash at Arkansas.
Yeah.
And it's shown year in, year out. I don't see them beating Ole Miss on the road. Yeah,
I agree. It's just I agree with you that this is just an absolute toilet bowl of a game.
it's not good.
Yeah, these are two very bad teams. They are not good at football, at least this year, and I say that knowing that there's a good chance we'd lose to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
But not looking great at football this year. With the woes that they have had with kind of injuries and just things not working out this year, I'm gonna have to go with Ole Miss. Although Shea Patterson is out.
Yeah, I know.
As I just remember.
I would say he's out, and he's out for the year.
This is the most confusingly frustrating game to pick.
Yeah, I know.
Because I don't think either of them are even capable of winning the football game.
Honestly, it might be a 3-2 game. It might be ugly.
Two? You think that someone's going to score a safety? Well, I'll give you two. I don't think anybody's going to score a safety. I think someone will snap it over somebody's head. Or somebody will fumble the ball and kick it out of the end zone or something.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Dumb game.
I will go with the home team only because I liked those bright blue helmets that they wore last week.
Oh, powder blues are great.
Those were fantastic. So I'll go Ole Miss. Nebraska traveling to Purdue.
Yeah, you know what? Nebraska, I don't know about those guys right now.
Bad.
They're not very good.
No.
And I have a hard time looking at this schedule and justifying going against Purdue right now because Purdue's been really close in a lot of games.
They have
against some tough opponents. I think that it's a nighttime, prime time. You got to think that Purdue's probably gonna be up a little bit for this one. So
right.
I like Boilermakers in this game.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go Boilermakers. Longhorns traveling to Waco to face Baylor.
Okay,
is it gonna happen? I have one of my friends goes to Baylor and he is saying that there's a lot of talk.
I'm going to rescind my toilet bowl and redub this.
Oh, this is the toilet bowl. I think Arkansas Ole Miss is way more toilet bowl than this.
Are either one of those teams with that win? I answer that question.
Listen. Listen. I think Baylor is. I don't know. I agree. Baylor has not won a game, but
they've been close.
They've been close against some pretty good teams. They were good against Oklahoma.
They were good.
They were close against West Virginia.
Yeah.
Ole Miss and Arkansas. That's some toilet bowl. I don't know if this is that bad.
Matchup predictor has Texas at 82.6% advantage.
Ooh, it's not that high.
And it's an 8.5 point spread in favor of Texas. Go against that. I am going full on Baylor.
You're gonna go full on Baylor.
I'm going full on Baylor, just because, if for no other reason, that's one step closer to Texas bowl ineligibility because Baylor's already ineligible.
Right.
And as much fun as 0-12 Baylor would be,
right,
I honestly think Texas is down 2 quarterbacks now because of concussion protocol.
Exactly, and with the game last week against Oklahoma State and just having their hearts ripped out.
Absolute. I mean, that's got to be demoralizing as
Another almost woulda, shoulda, coulda win for Tom Herman.
I mean, against a good Oklahoma State team.
It's a good team.
It's a good
They've
team.
not been playing to their level. They're a good team.
No, they're a good team, and it really sucks for them. I mean, because let's face it, Oklahoma State didn't exactly have the greatest game plan last week.
No, it was very bad.
It was bad, but regardless, they ended up beating Texas, and Texas and their fans are pretty much have any win that might have been in their sales just deflated,
right,
back below 500. And I would not be shocked. It's an 11 a.m. kickoff. Texas might be a little groggy. I think Baylor's going to win this game.
I'm actually going to go with you. I think Baylor's probably going to win too. I think they don't like Texas.
No.
Now, granted, I don't think anybody in the Big 12 really likes Texas.
I don't think anybody likes Texas except for Texas.
They don't like Texas a lot. They are kind of filling in the shoes to hate Texas the most, I guess. Because I don't think Oklahoma hates Texas per se. I think they're just like,
Texas.
Texas. Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's actually hate there. Baylor hates Texas.
Dude, I'm half tempted to get tickets to go to this game.
I'm not.
Because
I don't want to go watch it.
I want to go experience the Schadenfreude in person.
Man, I do not want
to. One way or the other, somebody is going to be crying by the end of the day.
I do not want to go sit through that game because that again seems like a game that's going to end up 10-7. It's
going to be gross.
And it's going to be the most boring game you've ever watched. I'm not going to watch it, but I think Baylor's probably going to win.
I think Baylor will win.
Houston traveling to number 17, undefeated, South Florida.
South Florida. Yeah. That's Houston last week. I'm not sure if you followed that game.
Man, they just...
What a waste.
Once
they were
again
up big on Memphis and blew it. Yeah.
They've lost the games they've lost this season have not been horrible blowouts, but they've lost a couple games this season in just kind of disappointing ways.
Would not surprise me if Charlie Strong and company just takes him to Browntown. I like USF. Go Charlie.
I also like USF. I think they'll continue to be undefeated, especially being at home, having their crowd and everything.
Sure thing.
Going back to the swamp, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Number 3 Georgia going to Florida.
Well, it'll be in Jacksonville. It's in Jacksonville.
Why?
It's the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Why?
It's been the neutral site game forever.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know they played in Jacksonville?
No, and that's really disappointing.
Dude, they've always played in Jacksonville.
That's really dumb.
Yeah, no. They used to play in the old Gator Bowl Stadium like every year.
That's really dumb.
So
They should play on the campuses.
it's one of those
college
traditional off-campus rivalries. That one, Cotton Bowl,
Well-
Texas versus Oklahoma. It's the same deal.
Yeah.
Just it's Texas Oklahoma of the South is basically what it is.
All right. Fine.
And they've done it for years. And the thing is, they don't even call it the world's largest outdoor cocktail party anymore because that's not politically correct.
Right, yeah. You can't call a college football game that. Well, that takes away some of the advantage I give to Florida then.
Yep. However, here's my thought process.
Dumb things are going to happen. It's the East.
It's a rivalry game. Dumb things have happened. The last few years, it's been Florida pulling out in a stupid win.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Gators.
Really?
I like the Gators in a stupid win because Georgia is going to have to drop an East game at some point. I think they're going to do it. I just don't know who they were going to do it against. Naturally, who else but the Gators?
Well, yeah, if you're going to talk logically at least, there's no other team that you can logically, I think, talk yourself into them losing to.
Well, and once again, it's a neutral site. It'll be 50-50 Florida and Georgia fans there.
Right.
And it will be stupid. But I think Florida's going to win.
I agree with you that it's going to be very stupid. I do not agree with you. I think Georgia's going to win. I don't think it will be all that close because I think Florida's just that bad.
Well, I do think Florida's bad, but at the same time, rivalry game. I like the Gators.
I agree with you. I think Georgia stays undefeated. Number 11, Oklahoma State, going to number 22, West Virginia.
I think West Virginia, coming off a little bit of a scare at Baylor, and by a little bit I mean a lot of it. Oklahoma State coming off a scare against Texas. I think Oklahoma State getting their second road game back-to-back. I do like them in this game. I think West Virginia's got a lot going for them, but Oklahoma State, I think they're going to come out with a better game plan. I like the Pokes.
West Virginia looked really good at home against Texas Tech.
Yep.
They had that big comeback win. They looked good and not good at the same time against Baylor. I think that West Virginia is going to go back home, reevaluate some things, and I think they'll probably win the game just because it's at home. And I mean, really, I think that's the only thing they've got going for them. Both the teams are not playing very good defense.
No.
Oklahoma State last week did not play good offense. So we'll see what happens at West Virginia, but I like the Mountaineers.
Okay.
Number 14, North Carolina State, going to number 9, Notre Dame.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game. I think, you're talking about, once again, 2:30 matchup. Notre Dame's looked really good. NC State has looked really good.
Yep.
This is a tough pick for me. It really is. Notre Dame, per matchup predictors, pretty heavily favored in this game. They're 7.5-point favorites. But I think NC State, who'd they lose to? I don't even remember. So, they...
I don't know, but it was early in the season.
Yeah.
It's South Carolina.
That's right.
They lost by 7 to South Carolina.
Yeah.
But they have wins against Syracuse, against Louisville, and then most recently at Pitt.
Syracuse has been pretty good this year, too. So, I think, went on the road to Pitt to win that game. You know what? This is a tough pick. I might have to pick underdog here. I think I'm going to go with NC State.
Really? Gonna go Wolfpack.
I think Notre Dame is going to be pretty high on that win over USC because it's a rivalry game. I think they're going to be a little high, a little like, whoo, look what we did. So it wouldn't be surprising if sitting here at a 2:30 game, NC State comes rolling in and just kind of surprises them a little bit.
Yeah, I do think NC State's good. I think that Notre Dame probably was thinking about USC kind of what we were all thinking was that they really weren't all that good, and I think that just inflated those feelings when they really punked them at home. So I don't think that they're as a giant high. I think that they're feeling like they should, like they just beat a bad football team.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame at home is not going to lose to NC State. I do think NC State is good.
Yeah.
I think that finally now we're kind of seeing that Notre Dame might be pretty good.
Yeah.
And if they can win this game, I think they will. And if they do, I think that kind of makes people start looking at Notre Dame a little different.
Yeah.
Number 4, TCU, traveling number 25, Iowa State.
Okay, so once again, talking
about the Cyclones.
More Cyclones on this Aggie podcast. I'm sure that makes Travis just thrilled.
Well, one of us has to be ranked. So
Yeah. So Iowa State ranked for the first time in what feels like forever. Sitting at 25. Coming fresh off of a couple of really good wins for them. Obviously, taking down OU was a big deal. They turned around and beat Texas Tech on the road. Absolutely huge victory. TCU's been sitting there pretty comfortably, honestly. But you know what? I do think that Iowa State's going to give TCU quite a bit of grief in Ames. I'm not going to pick Iowa State in this game. I think TCU is going to win, but I do think Iowa State will make it interesting.
I agree with you. I do think that they're going to make it interesting. The fact that it is in Ames, I think, provides a little bit something extra. I think that TCU's defense has done a great job this year. They have really done kind of what no other Big 12 team has done as far as defense goes. Because they have, been able to stop the run, been able to stop the pass. You were able to see that in the games that they've played thus far. A big stretch of their schedule is coming up. They're going to have some tough opponents here, and it kind of begins here in Iowa State with this game Saturday. That being said, Kenny Hill's looked great. Their defense, again, has looked phenomenal. They look really like the only Big 12 team that's playing competent defense.
Novel thought.
Exactly. So I think TCU is going to win this game, and I think that I do agree with you. I think it'll be pretty close, but I think that TCU will win the game.
Yep.
We got number 2, the marquee matchup of the weekend, really.
Yeah.
Number 2, Penn State traveling number 6, Ohio State.
You know what? Yeah, this is gonna be a hell of a game. Gotta think that Ohio State's definitely looking for a little bit of payback after last year, get knocked out of the playoff. Basically by Penn State.
Well, no, but they still went to the playoffs.
Well, should have been knocked out.
I agree they should have been knocked out, but
should have been knocked
out. That's
out.
a conversation for another time.
Regardless, anyway. So, like I said, Ohio State probably looking for a little bit of revenge. They're coming out with this funky gray uniforms, which, if I'm Penn State, I just come out and wear blue and say screw it because the tonal difference on those uniforms are stupid and I hate it. But that's a conversation for another day. Good matchup this week. I think Penn State has just been on such a roll. You got to think that they're absolutely riding pretty well after beating Michigan by as bad as they did. They said it was the highest attended college football game at Beaver Stadium this past week. 110 plus, whatever it was. So, not too shocking for a lot of people. I think, matchup predictor has Ohio State winning big. I don't believe that. I think Penn State's going to win. I think it's going to be a really grind-out, nasty football game. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a lot of runs, a lot of cheeky things to actually win the football game, but I like Penn State.
I said last week that I thought that Penn State would beat Michigan. They did. I then said that I thought that what I said was I thought Penn State was going to lose a game. I didn't think it would be against Michigan. I thought it would be against Ohio State. Well, here we are. They're taking on Ohio State. They have to go to Ohio State, and especially after what Ohio State, had to endure last year at Penn State. To me, in my mind, I kind of think, Penn State has, this kind of thing that's going. The same thing last year with Ohio State. I feel like they're going to falter. What they did to Michigan's defense, though, completely changes my mind. I think Penn State wins this game because I think their offense is better than Ohio State's defense. And I think their defense is way better than people are kind of really talking about. Yeah. Penn State's got a nasty defense, and they were able to shut down JT Barrett in that offense last year. I think they're going to be able to shut it down this year. Yeah. You saw against Michigan, they were able to stop their offense, which is largely the run. Ohio State's going to want to run the ball with their incredible freshman running back. And so I think the question obviously is going to be, can Penn State use their defense to stop that run? If they can, they're going to win the game. If they can't, I think it's close. Either way, I think Penn State's going to come out on top. I think it's going to be a great football game. I don't think it's going to be low scoring at all. I think it's going to be kind of a shootout. I think this game could be, like 42-35. Like this could be a really high scoring game, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think both these offenses are really pretty good. So I think it's going to be a close game, going to be a good game, but I've got Penn State.
Yep, same here.
Last game of the weekend, the game that we'll be paying attention to, Mississippi State coming to town to College Station, take on the Aggies.
Clang.
Stop that right now, I hate you. No cowbells will be allowed. If they are found, we will shove them down your throat.
Yep.
The Aggies' defense is tied for the nation lead in sacks. They are tied for sacks per game. Their defense has been fantastic at times and atrocious at others. What do you see going on Saturday night?
So, predictors giving actually Mississippi State the edge, which I think is interesting.
I think they're favored by 3 as well.
Yes. I think it's dropped to 1. But
Oh, okay.
regardless, close game. You're talking about two teams that are actually matched up really well with each other. You're talking about very similar offensive styles, very similar defenses. I give A&M the slight edge on defense. Honestly, right now, I give Mississippi State a little bit of an edge on offense.
Oh, I'm not. It's not even a close edge. Their offense is, I think, leaps and bounds ahead of ours.
It's very good
right
offense. Now. So the question is going to be, and I think the big matchup of this weekend between this game is Mississippi State has allowed for the least amount of sacks on their offensive line.
Right.
A&M has obviously tied for the most in the nation. Something's got to give. One of the two is going to have to break. And obviously, I think at Kyle Field, once again, a night game. And really a big opportunity. And I think a lot of people around this town understand that this is a big opportunity. I think a lot of us recognize that this is the same Mississippi State team that denied us last year on the road on a stupid 11 o'clock game. We now have an opportunity to get a little bit of revenge ourselves.
Yeah.
So, I like A&M in this game. I don't think it's going to be super high scoring on the A&M side of the ball. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there and say 28-17 Ags.
Okay. Man, this game is really weird to me because there's so many just different, I don't know, just kind of different things that I want to look at and say oh, well, A&M's going to win, or I want to look at and say, well, Mississippi State's going to win. If A&M can't tackle like they did against the Florida, quarterback against Jalen Hurts when he would scramble, it's going to be a very long night and we will not win. Nick Fitzgerald is going to be the second best running quarterback that we faced thus far, short of Jalen Hurts. Now, that being said, I don't think their offensive line is as good as Alabama's, obviously. We're going to see what happens, but if we cannot contain him from running the ball, no chance for the Aggies. That being said, I thought that the defense fought really, really hard. Special teams was very good against Florida. We've had a week off, week to try and get some guys healthy, try and get some rest. I think that the offense could come out clicking in this game. Yeah. If they don't, we have no chance, I don't think. But I think they could, and I think that if that happens, then we have a real chance to win the football game. I think it's going to be a close game again. I don't think it's going to be all that high scoring at all. Or it's going to be completely high scoring, one of the two. And I really haven't decided on that yet. But just from my gut, I mean, this feels like just a garbage game for the Aggies. They have to win this game. We are a better team, I guess, talent-wise, I think, than Mississippi State.
I would say so.
And so I think with that being said, this is just, I think, a must-win for the Aggies. I do think they're going to get it done, but I think it's going to be super close. I think it's going to be 30. I don't even think that's right. I think it's going to be 28-24.
Yeah.
If that. I mean, I don't know. This game feels really weird. It feels like we could win, 45-20. It feels like we could lose 45-20. It feels like we could win or lose by 3. So I don't know. Obviously, we'll go out there Saturday. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, the Aggies are able to pull it out, and we'll be able to talk about it next week.
Yeah.
All right. To close down our 10th edition of the Junction Cast, we return with everybody's favorite game show, Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down. And Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down, we're going to have a topic. Rob has no idea what the topic is. We're going to have a little topic, and we're going to talk about it. And we will respond accordingly with either thumbs up or thumbs down. It will make sense as we go along. This week, in honor of last week's game, or 2 weeks games ago against Florida, and some things that are going to be happening this week. We're going to be talking about a little bit of jersey, a little bit of uniform, a little bit of uniform combos.
God.
So we all know that the Florida swamp green uniform combinations were the worst uniforms probably ever conceived.
They're up there.
Probably. I mean, it's close.
Yeah, they're up there.
They're really bad.
They're definitely in the conversation.
They're really bad. So this week, wanted to take a chance with thumbs up, thumbs down. I've got a list of new this year. I made sure these are, well, I'd say that. Technically, not necessarily quote-unquote new. There's one of them that isn't quote-unquote new, but they are alternate uniforms. So teams that had new uniforms, like Indiana got new uniforms this year that, my God, they look great. I love them.
Oh, yeah.
They are not eligible. These are alternate uniforms that are being worn in a game this season.
Yeah.
And we're going to go down the list. So the first one we've got, we'll just throw this out there, the Aggie all-maroon combo for this Saturday. Yeah. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Well, are we talking like worst ever, or just do I like them or not?
Do you like them or not?
I don't care for them. Thumbs down. I mean, I understand. It's a marketing ploy. It's Adidas' shot, just trying to say, "Hey, high schools,
oh yeah, that's
buy our
100%
crap."
what it is. Right? Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, and I get it. Adidas is going to use it against another Adidas team because it's an easy marketing gig for them. Does it get the players hyped up? That's fine. The team could come out in pink tutus. I don't care. If they're winning football games at the end of the day.
Oh, heck yeah. I agree with that, too.
But at the same time, I like to keep a traditional look. Against Mississippi State, we have done that at home. And for whatever reason this year, we decided to go against that. On the plus side, at least it's a night game. So we're doing a darker combination for a night game, and that's fine. I've never liked an all-maroon look for A&M. Mm-hmm. Plus,
I don't mind kind of the all-maroon. The all-maroon looks that might have come in the kind of 09 and 10 when the jerseys said the giant Texas A&M across the front and the number. I mean, and that was it. I didn't mind that. If you'd have put that with maroon pants, like I'm cool with that. Yeah. I am thumbs down on this combo. I don't like it at all. I think it looks stupid, seeing as we're not the Texas A&M Cheetahs.
Well, see, I mean, and I look at exactly kind of leopard pattern, but I look at some of our other alternates that we've had.
Exactly, you look at the other ones, and this is, I think this is the worst one.
Oh no, it's not the worst one. The worst one by far was Mississippi State 2014.
I don't know.
Mississippi State 2014, white helmet, chrome logo, and you had the silhouette silver A&M logo. It looked like a cheap Academy jersey.
Yeah, but man, these are just not. I don't like them.
I don't care for these, but I still don't like those better.
Yeah.
I mean, and I guess, I don't know, because we decided, and maybe it's because we came out and played like absolute crap in them. I don't know.
Right.
But those uniforms left an absolutely terrible taste in my mouth. Other alternates that I've liked from us, obviously I liked what we wore against Vanderbilt.
Right.
And I guess it was 15. But it was like the silver helmet with the black Texas A&M logo on it. I really like that one. But, A&M... At this point with this combo,
thumbs down.
Thumbs down for me.
Thumbs down. We move from the A&M all maroon. There are some other teams that have chosen to do their color as a uniform combo. We've talked about this a little bit. I just briefly wanted to make sure we could do this again. Thumbs up, thumbs down for the all yellow Michigan uniforms that they wore against Florida to open the season.
Well, as much as I don't like them, I mean, it makes sense. It's one of your primary colors, at least. You're using that. Mm-hmm. As a once-a-year kind of deal, I think it's not a big deal. I'd say thumbs up. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm big thumbs up on that one. I really like that one a lot. The second one is another all-yellow one, and this is the Maryland all-yellow. I don't know if you've seen that yet. It's right there. But this is the all-yellow Maryland uniform, and thumbs up, thumbs down for that one.
It's the first link.
Yeah.
God, those are garbage. Those are not good.
So your thumbs down then.
Wow. Okay, so for those of you who have not seen it yet, you have two very thin stripes that flank the number above and below. Same stripe on the helmet, and it's all gray accent against the yellow jersey and yellow helmet. It looks like a freaking practice jersey.
Of Maryland.
That looks like a practice jersey.
My favorite part of this picture that we're looking at is this guy in this yellow jersey and these black pants, and behind him is the giant red Maryland M.
God, that's not good.
I'm giant thumbs down on these.
These are not good.
So bad.
Like, what's this? Like, I'm looking at the bottom here. You got the Maryland logo. 125 years of football. Do you think 120? I mean, is that what they're trying to do?
Well, I mean, I'll at least give them that it's old.
Wait, is that what they're shooting for? I mean, that's honest. That's my honest question. Like, is this like supposed to be based on an old picture?
I don't know.
Because those are not good.
No.
I mean, there are good throwbacks, and I'm praying that that's what they're at least trying to shoot for. Because if this is supposed to be something modern, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's, and in fact, that's really bad.
Yeah, I'm thumbs down on those. You thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah,
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Like as far as I can go down.
Yeah, those were bad. The other choices that other universities have decided to do is instead of doing all of our primary color, we'll do all black, and then do some other things. And
so that falls in line of old phrase we used back in the day, which is black for black's sake. It's like, it's not in your school color, but you go ahead and throw it in there because it's edgy. Mm-hmm. I mean, my high school did that. We added a black uniform in a couple sports because why not? Even though our colors are blue, silver, and white. Why do we need black?
Right.
But, regardless, big deal in college football for a long time.
Yeah. The first black one that we have is the Rutgers all-black uniform.
Okay.
And it is black. It's got red numbers with a little white accent and white letters with a little red accent. You thumbs up, thumbs down? You
know what? Those aren't too bad. I mean, once again, it's that damn Adidas pattern that just like protrudes off the damn uniform.
Right.
But I mean, for Rutgers and the color scheme, it works. I think it's fine. I mean, red and black just works together.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem if you want to do that as an alternate. I'm thumbs up on those.
Yep. I'm thumbs up on those too.
Those are fine.
The next all-black one we have is the NC State all-black uniform that they wore against Louisville. And are you thumbs up, thumbs down?
I really like the helmet.
Really?
I really like the helmet. The rest of the uniform I could leave. Mm-hmm. I think, you're just getting a little too obnoxious with the striping and whatnot on the side. Once again, it's red and black, but you're going a little too overboard with some of the striping and whatnot. I'm thumbs down on everything except for the helmet. Thumbs up on the helmet. Yeah, I'm thumbs down. The helmet I could care less about. I'm thumbs down on I'm thumbs down on the whole thing. Yeah.
It looks just atrocious. I'm not a big fan.
Great.
If you haven't seen any of these jerseys, any of these uniforms that we're talking about, it's a very simple Google search. If you just search whatever alternate uniform 2017, you'll be able to find it very easy. The next category, I guess we could say, is that schools have done always for years and years have done, I guess, throwback uniforms. And lately, we've done tribute uniforms in the form of kind of throwback uniforms.
Sure.
So the first one we have is more of the tribute side, which is the Arizona State Pat Tillman tribute kind of khaki look.
Yeah.
How you feel about these? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I saw them the other day, and I mean, they're okay. But, I mean, honestly, I'm going to go thumbs down just because I think they had the perfect Pat Tillman jersey like last year, which was just the gold helmet with Sparky the Sun Devil on the helmet, basic maroon jersey, gold pants, traditional look. It's what they wore whenever he played. They all had Tillman on the back of the jersey to support that, and I like that a lot. The khaki, once again, Arizona State has unfortunately fallen into the same category, just Adidas, just trying to overmarket.
Yeah.
And, I like Pat Tillman as much as the next guy. I really do. My dad went to Arizona State. He's a Sun Devil. I heard that whole story. But he put it best when he told me, the guy played, let him rest.
Right.
It's like you don't need to like go hardcore like every single year trying to continue to promote this guy. So thumbs down for me. I think overall it's not a bad look, but it's not very necessary.
I'm thumbs up on these. I think they look really cool. Yeah. It's something that's different. I mean, not everybody's coming out in their, I guess, Sunday best khaki dress jersey.
No.
But I think these are really nice. I think the helmets have a great look. They got kind of a great texture on them, and
like I said, the helmets are okay.
And just all across. I mean, I think I don't know. I really like it. I think the color scheme is really well. Obviously, the kind of maroon and the gold fit really well on the khaki, and it kind of just makes those colors pop.
I wouldn't mind seeing that helmet like on just a normal set.
Yeah, I'm
That'd
big.
Be interesting.
Big thumbs up on these. The second kind of tribute uniform we got this year is, of course, Notre Dame's tribute jersey that they have, and it. Oh, your link's not working there.
My link's not working.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good.
I would try and move the computer, although
you don't wanna
all
do
of our
that.
stuff's going to get unplugged.
You don't want to do that. I'll look it up.
You
chat about it. For me.
It's really good. I'm big thumbs up on these. They look phenomenal. I mean, this was done by Under Armour, but it reminds me a lot of the A&M, 1939 throwback jerseys. And I don't know. I really like these. The helmet is gold, but it kind of also has kind of a leather look. The blue, the traditional blue gold Notre Dame look is just, for whatever reason, it just looks kind of invigorated, but also not. Like it looks old and new at the same time to me. Really like this uniform combo.
Oh yeah, this one.
I'm big thumbs up on this one.
Yeah, no, I really like what they did with this uniform. Especially the helmet, just because I always like when they get a little bit, as much as I love the jerseys, and I love the jerseys, and I love talking about them, but when you can get like a really cool effect going with the helmet, that's just an extra special thing. I mean, you're getting that leather look, stitching look on a gold helmet.
Exactly.
I mean, the jerseys are clean. They have like the whole, give one for the Gipper speech on the sleeve. That's damn cool.
Right.
I mean, overall, just a fantastic look for Notre Dame. And, something that they further embrace later on, I wouldn't cry about. I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, big thumbs up on those.
Yep, same here.
The second to last, the last two that we have are just kind of out there. Not necessarily out there, but they're just kind of don't have a, I guess, category of uniform, whatever. Just true alternates. The first one we have is the Minnesota Golden Gophers Anthracite is what they call it, alternate uniform. I'm thumbs down on these. I do not like them even kind of.
Okay, so here's the thing. When you have two perfectly good primary colors, why in the hell do you go for another one?
Well, especially like something is like, it's not even black.
It's a dark gray.
Yeah, it's like charcoal.
It's like,
I think it's anthracite. I think that's what that color
whatever
is.
Whatever it is. Anyway, so Minnesota, you have maroon and gold, which is a great color combination.
Right.
You already go out and do something stupid when you do the all gold. You do it stupid when you do, various different variants on that. Why would you throw in the extra wrinkle of the gray? It's dumb. It's stupid. Throw it away.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm thumbs down on this too. I just think it looks, I don't know. It just, anything that has anything that's like a primarily gray, like even for black jerseys, very few black jerseys get it done for me. I mean, it's just, like you have your colors, use your colors.
Yeah, and see, to that point, I mean, another team that is in that same vein with Minnesota that did the exact same thing. Iowa State did gray pants, gray jerseys this time around. It doesn't look good. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have your red, which I'm not sure what shade of red it is, but you have red and gold. It looks good. Just stick with it.
Right. The last jersey we have is honestly what I believe is my favorite jersey of the year. Like last season, this one to me just stands out as special. Last season, Air Force had those helmets that had the fighter jet kind of painting on it, which just stood out as special. These to me stand out as just gloriously special. I think these are maybe one of the best jerseys I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know if you agree. Thumbs up, thumbs down on the Western Carolina floral jersey. These are the jerseys that they wear when they go this year to play Hawaii in Hawaii. And they're wearing these. It's got white, and then the sleeves and the collar is this kind of very light yellow, tannish color base with like a white and purple floral print on it.
I look at them, and as much as I hate them, I don't hate them that much.
God, they're so great.
I look at the jersey, and and honestly, what sells me is not even the floral pattern on the sleeve; it's the jersey itself. You're talking about an Adidas uniform that one does not conform to just the basic pattern. It's just a straight up, traditional hole punch pattern on the jersey. properly placed things. Western Carolina, clearly up on the front. I like them fine. I think thumbs up on those. They're not too obnoxious.
The helmet is kind of this like metallic, sparkly, deep purple.
Interesting.
And it's awesome. The only thing I could have hoped for is if they would have had like that helmet, but with like a stripe down the back of it that was that floral print. I think that would have been awesome.
Yeah, probably would have hit it out of the park with that.
I think that would have been awesome. I love these. I'm huge thumbs up on these. I think these are legitimately probably my favorite
They're fun.
uniform combo. I think they're great.
That works.
Lots of fun. Big thumbs up on those. Well, sadly, that is all I have for thumbs up, thumbs down this week.
Dang nabbit.
We will have another edition of Everybody's Favorite Game Show next week. And with that, I believe that concludes the 10th episode of the Junction Cast.
Rolling right along, man.
We are. We'll be back next week. We'll cover whatever else has happened in the sports world, as well as talking about the A&M and Mississippi State game and previewing the A&M Auburn game. We thank you for listening. If you do enjoy listening, we ask that you would share with somebody who also might like to listen. We hope that you have a great week. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Gig 'em.
Beat the hell out of cowbells.
Whoop.